What you are looking at is the mouth of White Sox manager Ozzie Guillen. Take a moment, soak it in. What makes this image so extraordinary is that the mouth is closed.
You gotta blame it. We play like shit. Blame it on me. Good team, win games, whole team have meetings. I think we're in the point to have a lot of meetings. I'm not protecting anybody anymore, and I know what to pull up with this shit. You guys want more than that?
This mouth has been accused of countless crimes against decorum and political correctness. But if you ask Guillen if anyone's in charge, he points just upstairs.
My mind, because a lot of people think I don't think what I say. Believe me, everything coming out of my mouth, you've been through it here in Spanish and English. That's a hard thing to do.
Consider this, then, an attempt to unlock the secrets of Ozzie Guillen's mind, to discover just what makes him baseball's most colorful and controversial figure.
Hey, let's go, wake up here, let's go, come on.
Usually, we'd start with some basic facts: his age, his place of birth, his managerial accomplishments. But numbers and names only scratch the surface with Ozzie.
What does it take to really know Ozzie?
Talk to me. Come on, talk to me and find out who I am. You hang around with me a few days, then you really find out who Ozzie Guillen is. Morning, 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 morning.
So we did. This spring training, we spent a few days on Planet Ozzie.
I hope I can get in the green with this.
Oh, I have faith in you, Ozzie.
I don't give a
A place where no subject is taboo, no topic off limits.
It really feels you're in the dugout and you gotta go number 2. You gotta walk like a mile to get to the bathroom. That's horrible. I say, you think I need a Twitter to let the fans know how horse my team is? No, they know they know it every day. Oh, it's not kids in the clubhouse. Yes, he is. The game's over. It's not their fault you stink.
That's the first thing we learned about Ozzie's mind. Just because he starts with one thought doesn't mean he'll end up there. A question about his childhood in Venezuela can easily pivot to an Oscar-winning actor.
When somebody says something I don't like, the first thing comes out of my mouth, hey, wait a minute, what do you think? I grew up in the golf course, or you think I grew up in Hollywood? No, I didn't grow up in that. I grew up in the tough, I overcome everything. And I overcome a lot of things. Sean Penn, that's his name, Sean Penn, the actor.
Sean Penn.
He went to Venezuela, and he liked Chavez. Well, I do like Chavez too, sometimes not. And he made this comment, say, you know, Venezuela is fine, I love Venezuela, da, da, da. He talking so much crap. Then I tweet, I said, it's easy to talk about Venezuela when you live in Hollywood, when you have champagne waiting for you in your house. You're not Venezuelan. Don't open your mouth and talk about my country. You don't know that shit.
Although from the outside it appears to be swirling and chaotic, if you break down Ozzie's mind into its various components, you start seeing some underlying logic.
I don't think I'm going to take anything from anybody because the way I grew up, I got to fight for it. I got to work harder than anybody else because my size. I was 150 pounds when I make it to the big league. That's not easy.
In 16 seasons as a Major League shortstop, 13 with the White Sox, Guillen made 3 All-Star teams and developed a taste for the camera.
What's up, boys? I'm here.
A Gold Glove winner with almost no power, he was never accused by anyone of juicing. But when we brought up the subject of steroids, he wasn't afraid to share his thoughts.
I told my wife asked me that question. If you had a chance to use it, you do it? Hell yeah. Why? Because I got to compete with somebody else doing it. We cannot judge if people use it, but we can judge people that use it now. If somebody get caught right now, it should be suspended for life.
You don't think baseball encouraged the use of it? They didn't like all the home runs and the record chases?
It made baseball fun. I remember 2000. You know what? I know I got to take a lot of hits because I didn't give a shit about it. Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire saved this game.
Save the game.
With the home run competition over the years.
In 1998.
Yes. I don't care it was clean. I don't care they was using stuff. I don't care about it. It was fun. I think people started watching baseball because of that. And a lot of people make money out of that too. it's a mistake. Yes, we regret that. Yes, 100%.
When the White Sox were thinking about hiring him as their manager in 2003, it was Guillen's mouth, not his mind, that most concerned general manager Ken Williams and owner Jerry Reinsdorf.
I said to Kenny, he's going to say a lot of things that you're not going to want him to have said. And if it's going to bother you or if it's going to bother me, then let's not hire him now. Because if we hire Ozzie, we make a commitment that whatever he says, we're going to live with.
That's Kenny Williams right here. The best third baseman in baseball.
For 3 seasons in the 1980s, Guillen and Ken Williams were White Sox teammates.
Part of the reason I hired him was because I wanted someone that was going to tell me if I had a bad idea, that's a bad idea. And with that comes the good with the bad sometimes. You know, you got to be willing to say, hey, you know, okay, I asked for this.
What the White Sox got with Guillen in 2005, just his second season as manager, was their first World Series championship in 88 years. In the 5 seasons since then, they've made the playoffs only once. But Guillen, for better and worse, keeps them in the news.
Listen, leaders, you see crazy leaders, very stupid leaders. You got all kinds of leaders out there. But you don't see a leader that's mute.
You know, the way you are, the way you're so open, the things that you say, it's not difficult to imagine a day and you say something that is going to force Kenny Williams or Jerry Reinsdorf to fire you. You don't think about that?
If they not fire me, right now, I don't think they will fire me because they went through a lot of things. They're not. I don't want to hurt anybody, and just because what I say, and
You're more careful now?
not really.
Ozzie fits perfect with the White Sox. It's kind of a dysfunctional family anyway, so he fits in perfect. He's kind of the ringleader of it all. It works. For some reason, it works.
Guillen's actual family says it works too. He's been married to his wife, Ibis, for nearly 3 decades. Has he changed?
No.
Yes, I have. I'm fat. I got a gray hair. I got a fake teeth.
Say as a person.
As a
That's
person.
what I meant. She understands what I meant. Your husband talks a lot.
A lot.
Does he always talk this much, even at home?
Yeah.
When does he shut up?
And then he sleep.
When Ozzie gets into trouble for saying things to reporters, what do you tell him?
I notice how when he's job, say whatever he think, but that's him.
You never want to tell him?
I never changed him in 30 years. You think I will change now? Mm-mm. I don't think so.
It's not surprising that a man who can fire his own son has no qualms about taking shots in the media at his own players.
It was a horrible, horrible, pathetic execution by us.
How do you maintain trust and respect with your players when you criticize them publicly? Would you say
It's my job
it's your job? What?
to tell the media, to tell the fans, and to tell them what they do. I never criticize my player because they make an error. I never criticize my player because they don't make the right pitch. But when we don't play the game right, of course I gotta criticize them.
And that, as much as anything, is the guiding principle of the mind of Ozzie. To always tell you exactly what he believes about everything. The only sin is saying nothing.